They had a marathon,
Yeah.
and I just told my brother, like, I think I want to go. It was around my third chemo. Like, I have done martial arts and everything, and I know my mind is very strong one. So I said, like, I want to check if I can walk 5 kilometers after third chemo. I want to check. I remember when I went there and I had to wait for my turn. Half the RTO people came out to say like, oh, yaro bandidare, like the locals saying like, oh, there's one female who's come for a bike license. Normally, all the bikes are getting the
Yeah.
puja done. And that was in the city center. I've not touched a bike for ages. I went there. I parked the gadi. Then I gave a call to my brother. Okay, how many gears does this have? So what started off as a breakfast ride, we ended up
Very,
almost 300 kilometers in a single day. The day started almost at
wow.
4 o'clock and it ended at 9:30. Because a lot of judgment is made on those things, right? We are still not there that we can take bike as a choice of
Mode of
vehicle.
Hello everyone, I am Toshika.
Hi everyone, Akhila here.
And welcome to At the End of the Day podcast, where we cover unconventional individuals and their unconventional career paths. Today we have with us Nidhi Lasker. Nidhi is a fighter. She is a survivor. Nidhi, throughout her life, she has a passion to continuously learn, grow, and she has been biking for a very long time and leading a community of bikers for women. So, Nidhi, thank you. Welcome to At the End of the Day podcast. And thank you so much for taking our time today.
Thank you, both of you. It's my pleasure to really be part of this discussion. Hope to have some very constructive takeaway session.
Right. Nidhi, just to begin with, if you would like, how would you like to introduce yourself to the audience and if you can encapsulate your journey so far?
I think the best way to represent myself would be a happy human. Okay. Filled with a lot of positivity, gratitude, and desire to explore more in life and content.
Right, right. Could you take us through your journey, as in where are you from? What have you done so far? What are your hobbies? What have your challenges been? Just to give an idea about yourself.
Okay, sure. So I'm basically from Mysore, born and brought up here. Education was from Mysore. Well, the career journey has spanned over service industry in the initial stages. Later, I've been working as a HR professional in the IT industry for over a decade. So overall, almost around 23 years of work experience I'm having. And in terms of hobbies, it's quite varied. I love yoga, I love swimming, then biking, adventure, pets, crafts, garden, anything what excites me and something to look forward, something to learn.
Right.
I'm happy being engrossed in that.
I think it is not quite often that we see people who are at around their mid ages, right, who are involved in quite a lot of hobbies and also have diverted their profession as well. So, could you tell us a little bit about your hospitality industry? That is, what did you do? What were your experiences like? So that we can get an idea around how the initial stages were and where and why did you move towards IT?
Okay, sure. It is quite interesting topic to talk about because I'm a science graduate. Okay, I have done my BSc in CBZ, and later I took up my postgraduate diploma in HR. But
Mm-hmm.
the job that happened after all this education was I started with the service industry. Service
Oh,
industry, not really with a very clear understanding of what the industry is, whether that is what I wanted. It wasn't that way at least 2 decades ago, right? In terms of the clarity the younger generation has today on, they know like what to study, what certifications to take up, what specialization to opt for, but we never had that, right?
Yeah.
That limited exposure we had, or to a certain extent our parents had.
Mm-hmm.
So graduation was just an education. So graduation it was. So I just took up this hospitality job just because some of my friends were doing it. I said, okay, fine. I will also follow the trail. So I was there, and after I started working is when I understood like the personal traits or the interest what I have is so much aligning with that career path from a service industry. So that is when I started enjoying, and I started following that approach, and I went on. And my last assignment in the service sector was with the Taj Group. That was in Bangalore. Okay.
Okay.
So I was in Taj, and I feel like I enjoyed my hotel career the most because I can say it very confidently that whoever I am today, all credit goes to that for whatever it has brought in the changes in terms of my personality, be it my
Right.
confidence, be it my grooming, be it that boldness to interact with anybody. So I was there enjoying pretty much, and I think only two type of people survive the hotel industry, as per my understanding. One is who are very passionate, who enjoy it. Others, like who don't know to do anything else apart for being there. Okay.
Right.
So while this happened, I was handling a lot of accounts for various IT companies because we were taking care of their press meet, AGMs, and whatever client meet they used to have. So we used to have dedicated account managers. So the company whose account I was handling, they had known me for a while, and when their workforce grew and they wanted to have one women representation in the admin team to understand the requirements of a female employee in the campus better. So I got the job. It was such a cakewalk, and I would say like a cat came in to take me for the interview, and I took a hard copy, and I was done. And the funny fact is the only reason why I quit the job, because Taj is something what I dreamt, what I loved, and I wanted. It's just that at that point of time, say like I was not too happy with one of the managers.
Hmm.
Okay, despite we working so hard and all those things, I was like, every time we need to ask for a leave or everything, it was so difficult. That was the only silly thing. But I got into a job which gave me 5 days a week. Salary was better, and there was a different, what do you call, industry to explore, to learn. It was exciting. So I said, like, oh, okay, TK. Sometimes you just need one small reason to take a big decision. So I think that was it, and it happened. And my journey in the IT industry has been amazing. I think like I got a break in a very nice stage. That is when the boom was happening, and most of the IT people wanted hoteliers for the reason like they were a good package of smart, groomed people with great confidence, and their what you call crisis management ability is really very good.
Hmm.
Okay, and they're not easy ones to be broken down. Okay,
Right.
so that is what I have explored, because most of my colleagues at that phase, they all moved to a lot of IT industries. So that's where I have been. So I've been um, with the last organization in IT. I was there for 9 years. Then my current organization, this is my ninth year. So it's been going good, but only thing what I see is like people don't have that zeal to dress up or to come in differently. Like they're so stuck with only the technical thing.
Yeah.
they neglect the other aspects, which is
Hmm.
very critical, important for their career growth. It
Hmm.
could be communication, it could be confidence, it could be grooming. They lack a lot. They don't work on it. The effort what they take for their technical thing, they don't do it. So but yes, this industry has helped me to be updated with the latest technology, the exposure, the current in thing. So,
Yeah.
so it has worked to our advantage, is what I would say. And yes, with all this happening on the career front, I'm married. I have a son who is in final year physiotherapy. He's doing his internship. Okay,
Mhm.
he's in, yeah, next month he'll be 25.
Mhm.
So, what else? Hobbies, yes, right from childhood, have been very extra curricular type of person. Okay, it could be my president award for the guides, or it could be my martial arts, anything. It is always like, okay, I always had to do something else apart for this. So biking, I have been into biking, I wouldn't say for very, very long. I think more
Mhm.
seriously it has happened only after my cancer. Okay, I'm a cancer survivor. I was diagnosed in August 2022.
Mhm.
So I think I made it a point to buy my own bike only after that, because that cancer but brought a different aspect to my life.
Mhm.
So before that, yes, I have a biking license for a very long time, but unfortunately, I was living in Bangalore for a long time, and like nobody would think much. A mother weekend traveling to Mysore and weekdays you're in Bangalore. So I was not able to do any justice to the madness I had about
Mhm.
biking part.
So I think what I can see, at least, the journey that you shared, you is it that you had a lot more fun in the hospitality sector versus the IT sector?
Truly, truly,
Okay. And
truly.
when it comes to, you were talking about how currently, like in the IT sector, people don't focus on other things like how
Correct.
you carry yourself, your communication, etc., right? Do you think that's the issue of the sector or the issue of the generation which is there?
It would be a very difficult question to answer, because, say, like opinions, judgment should be very well weighed before we speak out in a forum. But confidently, I can say about the IT sector, because I used to find people just dragging themselves to work. Some bottom, some top. There is
Hmm.
not even a thought, okay, should I wear this? Should I match
Hmm.
this? That
Hmm.
effort is not there.
Hmm.
Probably except their coding and other things, nothing else is
Matters.
matters. Probably for that.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. And you also mentioned a biking license, right? So, like, can you help us understand more on that? Like, do you need a license to bike
Of
or
course.
how?
Of course. It's, see, you have a two-wheeler license, a
Right.
driving license. So
Right.
you need to be having a geared license to be riding a bike. So my license has been lying there forever, and I remember when I went, because you have to give a driving test to get
Uh,
your thing. So I remember I didn't have my bike way back then. It must be more than 15
yeah.
years, Akka, more than 15 years. So I
Hmm.
remember I borrowed one of my brother's friend's bike. I took it, and I remember when I went there and I had to wait for my turn, half the RTO people came out to say like, oh, yaro bandidare, like the local saying like, oh, there's one female who's come for a bike license.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, so I had it then, from then on, but I always had this guilt, okay, like I didn't do anything with that. And every time I thought, okay, I'll buy a bike, I'll purchase one and start the ride seriously, it didn't happen. And the
Hmm.
year I decided I would buy it, cancel. But it
Okay.
was good. It was
Hmm.
good it happened, because it pushed me to take up my bucket list on a faster pace.
Right. I just wanted to understand, Nidhi, that through your journey of cancer, surviving cancer, right? It's not easy for people.
Right.
It takes a toll on oneself, on one's family, their circle, and also overall on sometimes maybe the way we view life as well. So, if you could shed a little bit light on your journey, on how when you first got the news versus when you overcame it, what were the challenges you faced? How did you overcome your, mental blockages that we sometimes have in our mind?
Sure. See, as I said, like I always feel like whatever happens, happens for food, for good. That has
Mm,
been my what you say, hard believing truth that I have followed all through my life. So
Mhm.
when cancer happened, I didn't have any symptoms or anything. I just went for a master checkup. It was
mm,
the August of 2022, and through mammography, they found something abnormal and they insisted that I go through another scan again. Since I was in the hospital, I said, fine, let's do it. And after that scan, they said, like, no, it's still not looking fine. It looks different. So they wanted to do a needle invasive test. So they did that. And it was somewhere on a Saturday, I went for the test and they told it would take around 2 days for the result to come out. I said, fine. So I believe those 2 days were the most difficult days I had because I had never waited for any of my results in life. So
right.
in that state ever. So
Mm,
I got the result, and after that, I was lucky enough that I got very good doctors uh, who helped me a lot. So once it happened, say like one simple thing is whatever happens, if you are able to accept it, you're done. You don't have to worry about anything else. So
Yeah.
that is the most important part I would say that has taught me. You accept it. Then it's very easy for you to just pave through anything what you're going through. So
mm,
it happened, then the surgery was scheduled. After the surgery, initially they told me I may probably not need a chemo.
mm,
But after the cells were extracted, sent for medical lab, they found out it's a aggressively spreading type of one. So I was recommended 4 cycles of chemo, and
mhm,
I said fine. Then all I needed was a good doctor who gave me that confidence. And as you see, I really have very good hair. This is real ones, okay? So um, what I did was I started accepting and preparing myself. I knew that
mhm,
during chemo, you're going to lose your hair and everything. So, right after my chemo, first chemo, I ensured to chop my hair out. Okay, I cut
mm,
it out and I said, like, okay, this is, I will give it off to somebody who needs it. I would not need that.
right.
And I did it, and after that, say like the hair started falling. I told my husband, I think I'm shedding more hair than the dog in the house. Can you just shave it off? And it was a very liberated feeling,
Mhm,
because I sense that we attach so much importance to the external package, we forget who we are inside.
mm,
Okay,
right.
so it was a very what do you call empowering, liberating, or a different feeling. Okay,
Mm,
so once it was shaved, then it was fine. All the focus was on how I pass through the chemo. I know you don't feel like eating, you can't drink, and if your blood count is low, again your chemo cycles will get pushed forward. So I used to just take one day at a time. In the 9 months of treatment, I have just taken around 9 days leave. 5 days I took because I had to, there was something attached for the fluids to be drained from the operated place. Apart for that, since it was a year end and we had some leaves, I said like, okay, TK, I'm going to not going to waste them and take it. So 9 months of treatment, only 9 days. So I have worked all through my chemo. I
Wow.
have cooked. I have just tried to ensure one day at a time and as normal as possible. Today, what am I supposed to do? I somehow have to consume so much water
Mm.
because chemo drains you a lot.
Mm.
It's such a harsh treatment, so you definitely have to be hydrating yourself so well. And I used to ensure to somehow stuff something as food because I didn't want my chemo cycles to be moved further.
Um,
Okay, and say like I was working. Fortunately, I'm very thankful and grateful to my organization. They were great support. They gave me work from home during that phase, and I had my
Mm.
job because the fear does
mm.
not allow you to do what is even required for you to get over the situation.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that is where I think we fail. So, and even during the chemo, it was like, okay, 29th day of my surgery, I was in the pool. I was swimming because um, my doctor was particular that I stay happy, normal, active. So 29th day of the surgery, I was in the pool. I said, like, are you sure I can go? My stitches will become wet and it should heal. What's going to happen? He said, nothing, go. So 29th day of my surgery, I was there. And during my chemo, normally immunity levels are very low, is what we don't even drink anything or eat anything outside. So I
Mm.
was swimming and I thank God my immunity was so awesome every day. I have swam. And then there was some event happening for cancer awareness and importance of what you call preventive medical checks. So since that was from Manipal
Mm.
Hospital, and since that is where I got diagnosed early, I owe a lot to
Mm.
them because I think whatever happened, they have played a major role in catching it
Mm.
early. So
Right.
they had a marathon,
Yeah.
and I just told my brother, like, I think I want to go. It was around my third chemo. I said,
Mm.
like, I want to go and check. Like, I have done martial arts and everything, and I know my body is like, my mind is very strong one. So I said, like, I want to check if I can walk 5 kilometers after third chemo. I want to check.
Mm.
Said, yeah, come, I'll come.
Mm.
Then we went, and I was able to complete, and I felt awesome. I said, like, okay, I've conquered the world. It was a different feeling. Say like it felt like nothing can stop me.
Wow. You you're truly a fighter. Because I think it's not just about, the chemo. I mean, there's obviously the physical things that are happening to you, but
Yes.
also emotionally it's
Yes,
difficult, right?
emotionally also, right? Because your look has changed. You don't know what to expect in life, what it is. I told myself one thing, like I'm not going to crib about anything.
Hmm.
When I bought my car, uh, I didn't tell God, why did you give me a car? Now
Hmm.
that when cancer happened, why should I be cribbing? It's not a right attitude,
Yes.
right?
Mm.
Yes.
So that's what I told myself. When bad things have, good things happen, you didn't complain. So why are
Yeah.
you going to complain about this? And what other alternative do you have, really? Okay, you want to run away somewhere, where are you going to run? It is right inside you.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are other alternatives do you have? Okay, you have to face it, you have no other choice. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
So why don't you face it? Make it easy for yourself and for everybody.
Yeah.
True. True. True.
Yeah, and even I remember when I was taking the chemo, I remember whenever the drip would start and I'm lying down, I used to tell this to myself that I welcome this, I embrace, I accept, this is for my well-being.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and I welcome it. I was not pushing it back. See, because unknowingly, none of us realize that 1 minute of anger can have a deep impact on our mental and physical. Like, I remember when I was getting angry, I sweat profusely and your heartbeat is different. So, similarly, any stress can trigger all those. And when you are open and calm, you're doing so
Hmm.
much good to yourself.
Hmm.
So that was what I thought, and I said, like, this is what it is. I have to go through. This is how I'm going to go through.
Yeah. I think one thing which is you are a true example of that, half of the battle is in your head, and if you have accepted it and you are ready to
Yes,
fight for it, I think then you have already won, right?
right.
Yeah.
Which is truly commendable.
I just wanted to know this, Nidhi, that when you came from a hospitality industry, right, where grooming, the way you portray yourself, all of these things are so important. But while you were going through the struggle of recovering from cancer, right, all of these things took a backseat. So, how did that play out in your mind?
What happened was, say, like normally, uh, I write down quotes which are made by me. Okay.
Okay.
Those are realization by myself. Okay.
Okay.
So it is something like I started swimming. I used to swim before cancer. So as per my swimsuit, I used to have half this tanned, half it tanned, and it was like so bad. My
Mm.
mother used to tease me like those two body parts don't look like they belong to you. You look like a ugly duckling sort of
Hmm.
thing. So then it made me strike. But every time I swam and after my swimming, I used to feel top of the world because I'm a July born Cancerian. So for me, water is very close to nature. So I love being in water. So it made me realize, okay, how I look matters others. How I feel matters me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that
Yes.
is what I told. Say, like, for others, maybe these few strands of hair don't define who I am.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. These were the very profound thinking what I experienced during my cancer. Okay. Say like, it's so true. Like, how we feel is what it is going to come out, right? At
Mm.
the
Hmm.
end of the day, it's just a packaging. The body is just a packaging.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, but if the internal contents are not good, we are not worth it.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So my
True.
mind shifted from there. Say like it's not important
Hmm.
that I pay attention to the packaging. The content has to be
Hmm.
Right.
very nice. So that's what I said in my introduction. Like I feel I'm a good human. Yes, very consciously I have made that effort to inculcate and to be that one.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. My mother is also like she's a person who doesn't do a lot of makeup. Actually, she doesn't prefer doing that. And growing up, generally, a lot of times, like when you were sharing the story of your mother, even though she might have said it as a joke, my mom never even told me, like even guided me that this is you should put a little bit of lipstick, you should do this, you should do that. And that's probably why even today all I know when it comes to makeup is to put an eyeliner and a lipstick. But that's because she said that the beauty comes from within, right?
Mm,
If
mm.
you are a good person, if you're a good person and you have goals and ambitions and you're working towards it, doesn't matter how you look, right? And I think that was something which is very very important that she taught me throughout the years, which helps.
Yes, it does help. See, at the same time, say whatever is required for your profession, okay,
Hmm.
for the occasion has to be done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying one has to be a rebel, but
Yeah.
you have to be confident enough to be in your own skin and not be dependent on uh,
Yeah.
Hmm.
cosmetic alone to portray that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Say because see, being from the hotel industry, every single day I had to wear makeup, right?
Makeup. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have very strict standards of grooming, okay? To that extent, your nails have to be polished, no chipped nail polish. There are audits which are done. You have to have your eyeliner, you have to have your lipstick, and how much jewelry you're going to wear. Even for men, what is the length of the mousse,
Yeah.
or how the what you say side logs have to be groomed. So hotel industry, they are very specific about all those things.
Yeah.
So being from there, say like here it, I think it's also the age also, right? Yes. So I just completed my 50th birthday in July. So that also matters, like your focus shifts.
Yeah.
It does shift.
Um, I think yesterday we spoke and you were talking about the fact that you went and did you also taught people around how to groom, how to be confident and everything. Um, for the current generation, right? All of us from the age of say 20 to 28, if you could give like some of the major points that need to take care of, like maybe two, 3 points that are a basic must for us.
See, compared to our generation, the current generation has access and exposure to the what any topic under the sun.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, but they need to know that they need to invest certain time on themselves for them to be successful in career. Okay, only the technical knowledge or the university certificates will not take you on how far you want to go, right?
Hmm.
The soft skills, your grooming, all those are very important and very critical. Even the very fact that how you're dressed for the interview
Hmm.
affects your interview result, right?
Right.
Right? If I find a smart one with 80 percentage,
Hmm.
I may be quite satisfied to hire. If you're well groomed, you're presentable, I know you will. Because when a HR looks for a candidate, they're not looking at an individual contributor. They're looking at somebody who will fit into, who can adapt, who can mingle, and that who is smart enough tomorrow to be a team lead or to
Hmm.
be client facing, right? We are not looking at somebody who can just code and get away at that point of time,
Right.
right? So, but people attach only importance to the certification and the technical skills that they miss out on these things. Okay, that there are a lot of finishing schools of late. Okay, and finishing grooming is some colleges and universities, they've made it a very important uh,
Mandate.
part of the syllabus
Right.
towards the campus, just around the campus time, because that is where whatever they train for years, unless they don't focus on this, it is not going to happen, right?
Hmm.
So it is important that people invest to a great time, even until recently. I used to ensure that I write at least 3 lines of handwriting and at least try to pick up 2 new words.
Oh, okay.
Because it's never like learning is still the last. The
Right.
minute you give it up, you're gone.
Yeah.
That zeal I don't see in today's crowd. And they're very restless about success, I feel, because we have worked in places beyond 5 years, 6 years, 9 years, and we have only left when there had been a very strong reason. Okay, I don't
Hmm.
wish to continue because my son is in this city, I want to go back, stuff like that. But I find today's generation chasing the CTC.
Hmm.
Okay, they're very restless. हाँ 2 साल हो गए 2 साल हो गया resume update करना है. Okay, so probably the chase has to be on the technology, on the exposure and the opportunity, and not just the CTC alone. And they also have to look at themselves that they are going to be leading a team, how they can be emotionally intelligent, how they can manage their own self with the team members, how they manage conflict, how
Hmm.
they are able to put across their point of view without
Right.
arrogance,
Right.
stuff like that. Okay, those are very small things, but that paves your way to success. That is
Yes.
very crucial. Okay, see, if I have somebody who is excellent technically, but does not get along with anybody in the team, what
Yeah.
growth can a HR offer them?
True.
Right? I only can fit that person into a individual contributor. We can't put them into the team. And if
Team.
they're not into the team, cannot be a team lead. And
Yeah.
if
Hmm.
the person has that less emotional intelligence, cannot take the risk of putting to a client facing, right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
there's so much work all of us need to work on ourselves each day.
Makes sense. Wanted to know, like, see, you have done so many co-curricular activities, you've been into sports and so many things. I'm pretty sure that has added into your professional life as well. I just wanted to understand that how do you see? Because right now, nowadays, a lot of us are asked to focus on studies only. So how do you see a person who has co-curricular activities and has joined the work versus a person who has only been focused on studies?
Hmm.
Very debatable discussion. Okay. Say, like, what do you call? It's important to enjoy life too. You don't have to be that serious. Eventually, what I feel is, आप कितना भी भागो, you're a rat in a rat race. Okay.
Yeah.
So it is good that you are a master of all trades. Okay, need not be jack of only one also.
Hmm.
Okay, and as a parent, I feel like I'm not crazy about my child being the top and all. As far as he's independent, he's happy, and he's a good human,
Hmm.
Mhm.
and he can enjoy his life, that is sufficient for me. But I
Hmm.
don't know how many others can say this because that's important, right? Ultimately, what is it going to be?
Hmm.
So, to circle back on this, you got your biking license way before.
Hmm.
When was the time that you decided that I want to get back into it?
As I said, it happened during my chemo.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Okay, I had planned to buy the bike that year, but unfortunately, cancer got diagnosed. Then my brother just suddenly came up, like, you were inquiring about the bikes. One of my
Hmm.
friends wants to dispose his. So, do you
Mhm.
want me to take it? I was in two minds because that point of time, physically, I wouldn't say I was so great that I could handle a 100 over kg bike
Yeah.
myself. I was not in that state. Then I said,
Right.
like, okay, fine, no issues. I'm going to go ahead and purchase it.
Hmm.
And he got it because I felt like, no, now onwards, I'm not going to have a bucket list. Wait, what I want to, I will try it. Works, it works. It doesn't work. What am I going to lose? I'm just going to sell it off. That's
Yeah.
Mm.
no big deal. इधर
Hmm.
जिंदगी जा रहा है बाल निकल गए so what more can happen.
Yes.
Okay, it gave me that attitude कि अभी और क्या हो जाएगा.
Huh.
हाँ.
Okay, so and if anything happens, I just tell myself, cancer ने नहीं मारा और क्या मारेगा.
Yes.
So that
Yes.
became my new attitude. And the funny part is, I took the license long back and I had not touched a bike for years.
Hmm.
Over 1.5 decade, I had not touched the bike. I got the bike. Then I called my friend. I told, I've got this bike. I have to get the puja done in a specific Ganapati temple
Mhm.
where normally all the bikes are getting the
Yeah.
puja done. And that was in the city center. I've not touched a bike for ages. I told my
Okay.
son, can you just be my pillion? And I told my other friend, and she told she'll come by car there. Okay.
Mm.
So it's been ages. I have not driven it. And I
Hmm.
start and I see it like even before I reach the first gate, switching off and off and off and off. Somehow I cracked it. I went up to the second gear. After that, in the hard traffic, I went there. I parked the gadi. Then I gave a call to my brother.
Hmm.
"Hey, how many gears does this have?" His question was, "Where are you?" I told her, "Come here to this specific temple near the palace." And he kept the phone. He asked me, "Who are you with?" Then I told this to my friend. She's like, she gave me that look which I can't forget. She's like, really? You have? you don't know how many gears this one has, and you've not driven for long, and you just came into the city center with that.
Big risk.
So, like, it was amazing. I felt like, ठीक है, कभी कभी नहीं जान के कूद जाना भी काम हो जाता है. So that
Right.
was my first experience of restarting the bike. And there was another funny incident also, wherein there was some cancer awareness week happening, and um, the hospital where I went for radiation. So they had this event. I said, okay, that was the second incident I removed the bike after the puja. So
Hmm.
he said, like, "Arey, I could take it that day. Why not today?" I said, like, okay, I'm going to participate in that event. Then I thought, like, oh, they are going to go as a rally. So I have to be able to manage it driving slow. I said,
Right.
will I be able to do it? Okay, if I can't do it, I will be in the back
Mhm.
behind all others. Or worse serious situation, I'm just going to park it. I'll see what later how to get it back. So I go there, and then I'm so hesitant because I don't know how to do a slow ride. It's been ages, over decades, and with that physical condition, I didn't know. So then I meet the beautiful women bikernis there. Okay. So it is very nice that I saw them. They had come for this awareness. And I went there and I told that, sorry, I'm not too experienced, but I wanted to be part of the event. I have come here. And that day we had the lady police commissioner of Mysore as a chief guest there, and I was interacting this crowd, and from the hospital they asked one of the Bikernis, this group which is in Mysore, and they have chapters across India, so they are called the Bikernis. Okay,
Right.
so they had asked one of the Bikernis to go up to the dais and do the garlanding to the chief guest. So these ladies told me that you go, and once I went up and the discussion about my cancer journey, everything happened. I came down and I got so much love from them, like uh, normally we have seen women with jealousy and not being supportive, but I feel this is the first time I came across women
Mm.
who were so embracing, who were so loving, who were so giving, so supportive. It was awesome, and my journey with them has really been awesome. I got to explore different people, different interaction, different experiences. So at that event, after I got down from the stage and everything, so we were supposed to go on a awareness slow ride within the city. So the chief guest says that she wants to come pillion on mine. So you can understand. One is I had decided if I can't manage, I'm going to park it. And the
At the
commissioner
yeah.
of police wants to sit pillion and ride in front. So you can understand what I went through. I did it successfully. It was nice, memorable. See, I'm able to relive those, relish those moments. So it was that wonderful.
Wow. So, you talked about how in this community women are very supportive, right? Is that or what's the biggest impact in your life that that women of the Bikerni community have made on your life?
Say, like, first and foremost, it was very welcoming, okay,
Hmm.
and supportive, and I got abundance love and support from them. It probably helped me what you call deepen my journey on this further.
Okay.
So, like, it is very nice. You can imagine how great a feeling it is. Like, you have a crowd of women from different walks of life, different stories, and all of them are like trying to do something different.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Right. Nidhi, what was your first experience? Like from what I know, Bikernis, they go on trips as well,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So what was your first trip about? What were you feeling at that time while you were riding the bike?
It was a very nice feeling. Like, it is like you have a machine, you conquer it, and you're riding it. It is a very, what do you say, powerful feeling. Okay, it's like wind under your wings. So it's
Mhm.
very nice. It's a very nice feeling, and especially when you are with them, it is not very simple. There are certain hand signals, hand gestures, everything. They're very disciplined. There's a proper protocol. There's a person who leads in the front, a person who is
At the
uh,
last.
in the end, then somebody in the middle. So they have designated things. There is a protocol. They follow everything. So it is very different. It's like, what do you call? And it takes a lot of physical endurance, is what I realized.
Mhm.
Because in a car, you have option to change your postures or do anything. On a
Right.
bike, you cannot have even 1 second of what alertness diversion, even for a second. It can cost you, right?
Right.
And whatever injuries you have, right? Some could be pretty
Mm.
bad. Okay, so that's a lot of risk, I would say, but at the same time, yeah, it's a test of your endurance. It's a test
Mm.
of your endurance, perseverance. Like once you start your journey, you can't stop it. I remember like we had one ride from office where we had all boys, girls, everybody, and their plan was just to go to one place, have breakfast, and come back. And they
Mhm.
wanted to go on a safari in that place. So they
Mhm.
started late. So
Mhm.
safari got cancelled. Since they went so far, they said like, let us go to almost Kerala border. Went there, had breakfast. Then they decided suddenly, okay, now we are done with breakfast. What else to do? Okay, we'll ride to Kur. Went to Kur.
Uh,
Again from there, we had to hit back. So what started off as a breakfast ride, we ended up
Very,
almost 300 kilometers in a single day. The day started almost at
wow.
4 o'clock and it ended at 9:30.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So it was nice. For me, it was initial wherein, okay, I experienced different terrains, hill, night ride, everything. And that day I realized like, ये कोई आसान बात नहीं है. It is not easy. It's not at
Mm.
all easy. You
Mm.
mentally also have to be very strong not to give up and say, okay, you have started the journey, boss, you have to end it.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't give up.
If given a choice, to put anything above biking, what mode of transport would you put? Or is biking your first?
I don't mind the car.
Okay.
Don't mind the car.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I think biking is you would want to like drive a bike when you want to feel that
Yes,
liberation, the air
yes,
in your hair,
yes,
right?
yes, yes. It is different. The minute you sit on that, I don't know what exact thrill it gives.
Yeah.
It gives you a lot of what do you call adrenal rush. It gives you a lot of confidence. It gives you a lot of strength, as if you feel like you're doing it.
Hmm.
Mm.
I don't know how it happens. Sometimes I think, because whenever we are riding through the village, we see all this chota mota tapori chokras also riding it.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I feel like, why are we even having that big thought about कि हमने इसने चला लिया वो तो बंदा चला रहा है उसको he is
Hmm.
not even aware of the fact that he's doing something like that. But
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that's the feeling the bike gives.
Hmm. Hmm.
I wanted to know when biking gives so much of adrenaline, so much of, and feeling of accomplishment, why do most women go for a scooty versus that of a bike?
I think convenience
Mm-hmm.
and society in some way family pressure. Probably.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, this is my own analysis. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
See, what happens is if you're riding a bike,
Mm.
your
Hmm.
costume is different.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be wearing a salwar or a sari, right?
Hmm.
I cannot be using my bike to office on a daily basis because there are days when I have client visits, meetings, etc., when I have to wear a sari. So then I cannot be. But if I'm buying a bike, it means to say my living lifestyle is different, right? Most of the time, what happens is, assume you're a girl, you didn't opt for a scooty, you took a bike. So for convenience sake, you will start wearing trousers, jeans.
Yeah.
So then ultimately you do certain bold things, independent, strong. What is the society going to say? ए वो तो छोकरा जैसा हो गई है तो आपने ज्यादा छूट दिया है. Do you think it is going to go down well and easy? This is my thought. I could be wrong also.
Yeah.
All right, because a lot of judgment is made on those things, right? We are still not there that we can take bike as a choice of
Mode of
vehicle.
Yes.
We are not there yet.
Have you had any such experiences where maybe somebody, in like in the society, maybe on the road, somebody said something, or maybe in your relatives, people around you?
No, they have been very happy to see me, right? I find head turners. They're very like, oh, it's like they're happy. I think slowly it is changing. They are what you call, especially when you pass through the villages. Oh, the crowd cheers you crazy. The crowd cheers you crazy. Okay, that is that openness also is coming up. Okay, I have seen some of the families where they have allowed the kids to opt for a bike, but somewhere we do it. Okay, as parents we take up certain decisions which we think is good, we are forward thinking or we are open to it, but at the same time there will be certain pressure on unwanted things coming which will hit us and it could affect the child as well.
Also, just wanted to know that so the Bikerni community, does it have only like a 1 day trip? Do you guys do cross across cities, or how does that work? If you can give an insight into the community.
They have different what you call events, different plans. They have get-togethers, they have awareness sessions, they do breakfast ride, they do 1 day rides, they do what you call long distance ride where they ride, halt and then return. So they're very varied type of activities. They have, ours is like the Bikerni is a women's crowd, right? We also have other teams where you have only men or you have both the genders. So they get along with others also and say like there was one event from Manipal on some awareness where they had a 40-kilometer cycling ride. So for those programs, they had asked for some volunteers from the biking crowd because we were like taking care of the patrol in case anybody is injured, calling for an ambulance, or we had positioned ourselves across. So if we wanted to cheer, we wanted to take care, stuff like that. So there are also activities where they just participate to support them conduct those type of things.
And how can someone join the community?
You just need to have a bike, passion to ride, and have the contact number of us.
Any one of you, basically, right?
Yes.
And this specific, like the Bikerni is available, like it's there only in one specific area, or is it like across the country?
Across the country is what I am aware of, because there was one ride where from Mysore and from Bangalore, we came to a common point. We met. It was very nice because nice interaction, I would say, because the mindset of the people from a tier 2 city to a people from the metro city, it's different, right? So it was nice.
Also wanted to ask, while riding, like, for a lot of women, right? Like my cousin, she wanted to buy a bike, but she was asked that, buy a scooty. The family can also use the scooty. right?
Yeah.
Or say, for example, when her younger brother had to be dropped at school or so, her mom would take the scooty and do all of these work. But at the same time, her dad didn't have all of these responsibilities. So could this one be an aspect? And secondly, following up on that, which is more safer? Is biking more safer or scooty more safer from an all-purpose aspect?
See, bike definitely the weight is more, okay.
Mhm.
And in terms of safety, like you need to be smart, fit enough to jump out of it in case of an accident or anything. Whereas the injuries or whatever, yes, a certain amount of risk is definitely involved.
Mhm.
And similarly, scooty also, like you, nothing is predictable, or like you don't need a big thing to have very profound injury. Anything small, you can be a pedestrian on the road also to be landing yourself to a grave accident. So in terms, yes, scooty is convenience and all those things, but bike, of course, etc. Like you need to be aware of the technique and have that strength. Someday it breaks down, you should be able to push it to a distance, park it aside, and do all that as well.
Yeah. What role like biking has played on both your personal and professional lives?
Uh, Personally, yes, I would say it has given me a lot of happiness, lot of satisfaction. Say like that is something what I wanted to do for a long time. I'm that type of person. If I see a jeep, I want to try. If I see a tractor, I want to try something. I don't know
Yeah.
why it. That's how I've been. So riding a bike, of course, like it has given me wind under my wings. Definitely, that's on the personal front. Professionally, yes. Say like being a HR, it's very important that you connect to people, and it's very easy to connect to youngsters when they know that oh okay ma'am कोई बुद्धि नहीं है हमारे जितना happening है. So it is more easy, right? It's more
Yeah.
easy, they connect, and it goes on a different level.
Yeah, I think I have one question as an HR. Generally, if somebody is in HR, you would have heard a lot of people say things like they don't work hard enough, that team is not important, they are there to make rangolis, right? How would you want to answer some of these things that people say about HRs?
Of course, it's not a very pleasant thing to hear, and we have been trained to understand that we are doing a thankless job.
Yeah.
So, so we know that, and I think by now I have that wisdom to say that they don't understand. It's okay because
Mm.
they don't know what a critical uh, link we are between the management and the workforce, right?
Mm.
And we are the true messengers who know what's happening here, what is the
Yeah.
mindset, what we need, where we
Mm.
stand versus what management thinks is needed
Mm.
or to be done.
Mm.
We are the only important link which can bring that change.
Mm.
I think that was quite an insightful conversation from the part of your profession to understanding how one should present themselves, which is, I think, very important, where we shouldn't go too overboard or too underboard and to be at that right space. And how it can, make a difference in how much people would also reach out to me because of how I
Right,
present myself.
right.
To the part of you surviving through cancer, coming out of it, uh, I don't think so. A lot of women can say that they survived through and took so less leaves. That
Yeah.
is extremely, extremely commendable. And I think your journey stands strong on your experience of martial arts, on your experience on trying out so many different things. You don't have the mindset where you give up. Uh, and for us, especially me and Toshika, to see someone who is, 25 years elder to us, we don't come across a lot of women at your age who can guide a lot of women our age. So I think
Yeah.
that is a very important aspect for our conversation here. Anything you'd like to add, Toshika?
No, I think knowing, like hearing your journey has been very, very inspiring, right? Because I think I have had certain, when you were talking about a lot of things, right? I could relate to them in terms of the advices or things that might have worked out for me or might not have worked out for me. And I think we definitely need a lot more people like you, because today if you're sitting here and you're talking, you're not like, hey, I did what XYZ, I am a great person. You're still like that humble person who is talking about your life motto and why and how you got things done. So I think this was a very, very inspiring evening for me.
I think me and Toshika will take back on this, and tomorrow when we connect back, we'll be introspecting on this. Because at least by that time, in the next 25 years, we should be at a place where you are. I think that is our goal at the moment. So thank you so much for spending time with us. Is
Thank you
there
so much.
is there anything that you would like to add?
Well, I would say like I really had an awesome conversation with both of you, and I'm what do you say? Very happy to be a part of this conversation, and the initiative what you guys have taken is something nice, and truly mental wellness today is a very required thing which we don't know can destroy
Mm.
a lot of people, right? So we don't know, people don't understand the importance of it and how just words.
Mm.
See, I didn't do anything great, right? It was my problem and I had to go through it. And
Yeah.
what I adapted, what stance I took and how I wanted to deal with it, it worked for me. And
Mm.
Yeah.
sharing it, if it is helping somebody, it is very nice. It feels
Yeah.
good to me that, oh, okay, what I tried worked for me.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and lot of kudos to you guys. Go ahead, do what you guys are doing. And I seriously believe life is once. Do what you enjoy, do it to the fullest, be a good human, be happy.
Right.
That's important. And I think all parents want their kids to be happy more than saying a successful CEO or successful something. They want the kids to be happy,
Yeah.
Right.
right? So
Yes.
I just wish you guys best of luck, and I will always be there for anything you all need.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.